Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Bwaaa. I am Mike, and that is not Rusty.
It's me.
It's Mason. Mason's in the studio with us for Friday's episode. Rusty is on assignment, I guess. I don't know. He's out of pocket. So, Mason, since this is a special Friday episode, we always cover something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So, you picked it this time. What are we talking about?
Just issues with this could be considered a mind melt, but we're gonna keep it on Friday.
Yeah, it's fine.
Issues with AI arts, particularly. I mean, because I have a complicated feelings about AI. Because on one hand, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I can see what it can do for a lot of people. But on the other hand, if you're a writer, particularly an artist, a type of creative person, it's very scary. Understandably so.
It can be. I think sometimes that people look at it the wrong way. I think it is a crutch, not a fix for anything. You know, I mean, it's just another tool in your toolbox. Is what it should be. And when we're talking AI, we're talking about two very different things. Yeah. One being the writing AI, the one that will
ChatGPT.
Yeah, it'll write the stories and things like that. And the other one being the art. Yeah. And there are so many of those out there now that will just generate that art.
Yeah, but a lot of it comes from they take from my understanding of, I haven't done that much research into it, but I know that they take they steal from data sources and use old stuff to create new things, and it's an issue people have, and I really understand the art part. Let's focus on the writing one first before we get to the art one. Like for ChatGPT, so I don't know if you remember a couple months back, or when this all really started. I don't remember his name, but a guy published a kid's book. Yeah. Using AI. He used art, and then he had an AI write the script for him, write everything for him. Mm-hmm. And I guess the bigger issue for me is, so if you want to use it for, we've used it for press releases. Sure. Or dumb stuff like that. Yeah, not necessarily press releases are dumb. Stuff where
No. Yeah. I didn't take it that way. I think those kind of things are what it's meant for.
Yeah, honestly. When you're not, automate I don't like tasks. Who likes writing press releases?
Right. Yeah. To automate tasks is what it's for.
Makes things faster. Yeah, sure. But if you're using it to write a book. Yeah. Even if you do and go do some, edit it and stuff, you still didn't do any of the actual work.
It's true.
And especially when you consider how much does a publisher actually owe you in terms of when they have to pay you? They can pay you jack crap. Yeah. Or it's spared for writers because if a publishing house was like, hey, we can have these AIs write whole novels for us and just pay our in-house editors to fix it for you. What do we need authors for?
So,
Or we can, oh yeah, you want Arthur give us a book? Well, we can make this a lot faster and a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, now you're gonna have to take a pay cut on top of the already crap you already get, unless you're a big artist.
there's a couple of, and we're talking art now, but there's a couple of online magazines and online aggregators of stories that have been caught using AI here recently after they laid off a bunch of people. So they assumed, well, let's just get rid of these people and then we'll just have the computers write the stories.
Yeah, why pay people?
But it never comes out correct. Like people need to understand that dealing with AI right this moment is like dealing with a toddler. You know, the only thing they've done is they've sent this AI out and let it scrape the internet for images, for information, and all this stuff. So it's like
it's brand new.
It's like an alien, you know, at this point. It just landed on Earth and it's starting to learn about us, right? But I will say, if you are scared of AI, well, number one, you're not going to get in its way because it's coming no matter what you do. But you can help, and that's by using it. If you use it, we can all make it better. And that's the way it works, right? The more crowdsourced it gets, the more it learns, the more it learns tendencies and the way to do things and stuff like that. Right now, again, like I say, it's just a dump of the internet is all it is. And so there is one, and I was talking to my buddy about this last night. He's a programmer here in town, and he's dealing with this at the school he works at, where everyone is scared of AI. Like he had somebody call him almost middle of the night the other night and said, hey, did you see that one of those Teslas, the automatic driving thing screwed up and it ran into the back of a semi and killed a guy? So the Tesla's not going to take our jobs. I was like, it's just so misplaced, right? I mean, you don't know the extenuating circumstances. Maybe this guy's drunk. Maybe he's, you know, who the hell knows?
Also,
Maybe
really,
he's playing World of Warcraft. While
really
he's,
shouldn't be relying on stuff to drive for you anyway, in my opinion.
No.
I mean,
no.
If you want, maybe one day technology will get to that pace, but just you can't, an AI
We're just
can't
not there
control
yet. No.
how other people drive.
That's right. That's right. Those are the open loops that it doesn't know how to close. You know, the only way it knows how to close is keep doing it.
Hopefully never knows how to close.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
But
that's kind of scary. But
you know, the other thing is like, if you're not on board with this stuff, that's fine. I can understand having fears of it, and I think that's because, you know, the things we've seen in movies and sci-fi stories and things. But it's coming either way. And we're not talking 20 years from now. We're talking probably 5.
It's already here.
Well, what I'm saying is in 5 years, it's going to be old enough and full of enough information to where it'll actually start doing real stuff. Not just writing one-offs and making weird art with stupid hands and, you know, stuff like that. It's going to be doing real tasks. And so, yeah, that's scary. But change is always a little scary. So
yeah. I mean, at one point, everyone got all their news and everything through radio.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
TV came and it was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Then Netflix streaming
Oh.
is not even 10 years. I think it just turned 10 years old.
You know,
I remember when Daredevil came out, I was a sophomore. I think there was other stuff beforehand, but streaming itself, it's new. They were streaming beforehand, but in terms of the amount of way, that's pretty much like a whole new way to get content.
So
that's not even just turning 10, I think.
I am 53 years old. In my lifetime, as far as entertainment goes, I went from 3 TV stations on some rabbit ears to cable, which brought us probably 20-something channels at the time, which seemed like an enormous amount, right?
Jesus, only 20?
Yeah, it was about 20 channels or so. And then we saw cable start to really open up and a lot more channels be available.
Spike, FX.
Yeah, we saw it to where we didn't have to have a cable box necessarily anymore now, because cable boxes initially had actual physical buttons on them where you change the channel, right?
Yeah, I remember those.
Because you could turn it over, unscrew the back of it, screw with the foil in the back, and you could get all the unlimited channels, right?
You could do that?
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah.
I never knew that.
I always figured out a way to get around pay-per-view of some kind. There was a while there where when there were satellite dishes, I was building little computers that you'd put the cards in, and they would rewrite the card stuff on the satellite thing. But anyway, I did not personally do that. I just intercepted it. But anyway, we went from 20 channels to 80 channels or whatever, and then I saw the implementation of VHS, then Beta, then Laserdiscs, then we ended up with DVDs. And
DVDs were only invented in 1995.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
they're 2 years older than I am.
Exponentially grew so fast.
And most people don't even use them anymore.
Every time you turned around, there was a new format. It was. I got to buy that movie 4 times. Because I bought it on VHS, I bought it on Beta, I bought it on Laserdisc, I bought it on DVD, I bought it on Bluray, I bought it.
4K HD.
Now I got to buy it on 4K. Now I got to buy it on streaming. So then we saw Netflix become a thing when DVDs were a thing, and they were mailing these ones to your house.
Yeah. And then they started to stream stuff.
Yep.
But only on like small little platforms.
Yep.
They were still doing the DVD thing. I think it wasn't until I'm stupid.
I think it still happens.
I think they still do it in certain areas, but they still offer it. But most people just have it streamed
Because Redbox is still a thing.
Yeah, well, that's I like Redbox one just because not everything goes to every streaming thing automatically.
Sure.
Sometimes you got to wait a bit, and sometimes it's just nice to still hold a DVD. I still buy DVDs and Blu-rays.
Nothing insults me more than to go on something like Amazon Prime, and I want to watch a movie. And they say, oh, you can get this one, first run or still in theaters or whatever. And they want to charge me like $19 to watch this movie.
Well, I'll just go to the damn theater.
Or to quote unquote own the movie. Well, I don't own jack shit. I mean, I own a digital copy of something. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the digital copies are cool, but as far as I know, I'm sure there's workarounds for this. I'm not that smart, but Amazon, like if you own something through Amazon, Amazon Prime Digital, I mean, it's not like you can just download it to a USB drive or anywhere. I don't think they let you do that.
No, I think you have to still use their service
to do it.
You have
to use their service.
That's what I'm saying. I'm paying them twice, basically, right?
I have a lot of Comixology comics, and maybe I can try printing them.
I forgot about that. Like the digital comics at this point.
I can print them, but it's not going to be nowhere near as good as on a regular comic book.
And it probably has a watermark of some kind on it, I would think.
Probably, and also that's color ink. That's a lot. It costs more. Yeah, costs more to print everything than to just keep it digital.
Yeah.
So we kind of went off course here.
Well,
but
no, it all kind of feeds into where we're at now. I mean, without all of this stuff, we wouldn't be in the AI world at this point. And AI is just such a scary concept anyway, like I said, because of movies and sci-fi and all that stuff, that people are just so scared of it. And I just don't get it. Like, you've been letting these devices in your house the whole time. You let your phone talk back to you. What do you think does all that?
Well, people were scared of Siri and Alexa when they first came around, weren't they?
Well, they should be, because, I mean, that's how the CIA gets in your house.
Well, they were already doing that beforehand. Now it's made it easier.
Sure. Yeah. The funny thing to me is, throughout the inception of all this stuff over the years, people have gotten less and less likely to take notice of a big thing. So by that, I mean, at one point, there was a story saying that all PCs in the U.S. go first to the government, who puts a chip in them, and then they go out to the public. So there is precedent where they told you, hey, by the way, we're watching everything you do. And nobody cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
I think after a while, people realized that was total bullcrap.
Well, when nobody cares when somebody like Google comes out and says, oh, yeah, we've got all of your history of everything you've ever said in your house. Nobody gives a crap, because our privacy has been invaded so many times to this point that everybody's just kind of numb to it. And so it does not surprise me that now AI is coming out. And while some people are mad at it, they're kind of mad at it for the wrong reasons. They're mad at it because, well, I'm an artist and I should make art. People should make art, not machines. Well, that's maybe not the whole thing behind it. I think people are really worked up about it, or should be worked up about it, because it's going to take their jobs. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. It's going to replace us, and it's going to cause a new way of living.
I mean, like when you go to H-E-B or Walmart, when you go to Walmart now, when was the last time you went to Walmart and actually had a human cashier?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't.
No,
in
that's
3 years.
self-service. Yeah,
they still have them. I think that's
Yeah.
only if you want to buy a damn cigarette,
So
or if you just have too much stuff.
let me tell you one other thing. Did you know that at every Walmart cashier spot, there is a camera and a microphone?
Oh yeah.
So it records every transaction and everything you say back and forth also, so that it can suggest things to you later on if they already have your information. I mean, this stuff has been here for a while, folks.
Yeah.
It's just, it's weird to me how it made a big splash all of a sudden.
Bwaaa tries to fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
Back to the AI art thing.
Yeah.
I think I don't want artists since we talk. This is a show, animated show.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope artists don't get or potential artists don't get discouraged.
Yeah, me too.
If anything, just look at how shitty AI art can be, and just realize a human can't make that mistake.
Sure.
Just another reason. Just you know what it means. Just I'm not trying to sound like an idiot, but just prove to the publishers, creatives out there, show them your amazing work. This is why you don't want a computer doing this, because I can make this 1,000 times better.
Well, we've seen this story before, and it was when hand-drawn animation went to computerized animation.
Yeah.
And so nobody ever brings that up, but that's already happened, right?
Yeah, those days are gone. Hell, most anime now is pretty much done with computers too. Some still is.
Every
2D,
once in a while,
but
you see a hand-drawn thing, and it almost looks odd at this point because it's just
I mean,
realize
they look good, but also like when you look at the conditions to make all the hand-drawn stuff, I don't really. Yeah, it looks amazing, but I don't know if it's worth putting those animators through that.
No, animation by hand is a tough business. It is a very tedious process. The only thing I can think of that's more tedious than that is stop motion filmmaking.
Yeah, but at least that you can take a break every once in a while.
But even that now, you can take a couple of frames and the AI will fill in the rest of it for you.
Or the program.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, again,
have you seen the Netflix Pinocchio?
No.
Well, one, it was really good.
Is it very good?
The kid in the podcast did an episode about that.
Yeah,
I'm just showing out everything.
You
today.
Dropped another one. RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Yeah, it was a stop motion one, and
Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yeah, it was definitely watch that with a grand. Well, actually, no, maybe not with a grandkid.
I'm gonna watch it with the little baby.
It's violent,
baby,
but
it's
a good movie. Stop motion.
That's cool. Yeah. No, I haven't gotten through all the curiosities of cabinets or whatever that thing is called.
Those were. I watched the first two. It was okay. It was not what I wanted.
The one with the rats is very good, though.
That was really good. I did watch that one.
Very well done.
It's like he was an a-hole, but I felt bad for him at the end. He's like, "Oh, I made it out."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Have you ever seen Creepshow? The movie Creepshow?
I've only seen Creepshow Part 2. I just know I watched the short based on a Stephen King short story.
You should watch the original movie. That episode very much reminds me of like a Creepshow tale, and it's very, very nice, very well done. Okay, so I guess the way we end this thing is with the new King of the Hill episodes coming out. How much do you think they rely on AI for that kind of stuff, or do you think they do it at all?
If Mike Judge is in charge, I think he's probably going to avoid it at all costs.
I'm assuming they use a program to fill in the spaces, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you think they still send stuff to Korea to get hand animated?
Most likely they'll still send it to Korea just to do it, unless they found an animation studio in the U.S. Depends on. Yeah. I mean, I think ideally I'd want a U.S. based studio, but I know it's hard. I want people to get work. It's hard to. Animation's hard. It takes a long time.
Well, again, like I said, I think at this point you just make keyframes and then it kind of fills in the spaces for you. Oh
yeah, and that's how most of it's done. As long as it looks good and people made it, I'm happy. I know it's done with computers, but people still have to draw the faces, do the models and everything. You don't want to lose that human touch.
It just it amazes me.
I think it really depends on how Beavis and Butthead is made now.
That's true.
Yeah, if that's made in the U.S. or just to Korea, that'll be the answer.
I forget about Beavis and Butthead being a thing.
I have it on Paramount. I just need to actually sit down and watch it. I watched some older episodes, like some of the original stuff. I didn't realize, I think I told you this, how much of it was just a quick 2-minute thing, and then the rest is just them watching a music video. Yeah. I didn't know that was what it was. It was like, oh, how did this get popular again?
Oh, it was MTV. I mean, again, it's MTV, so they.
Then I realized, MTV, of course.
They just need content. Yeah. They just need content. Yeah, that's all it was. And to be honest with you, Mike Judge is a genius when it comes to that because he took what was already there and made it into a thing.
And then I didn't know Daria. Well, I heard the name Daria. I never actually watched the show till we got Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I didn't know she appeared on that first, and then she got her own spinoff.
Yeah.
Which I actually like that show.
Daria is a good show. I don't think it gets enough credit. I was talking to we have another podcast here called Zona de Crema. I think is how you say it.
Zona del Carmen, yeah.
There we go. It is a Spanish language true crime show, and one of the girls, she's got to be in her late 20s, right? She has like Daria on her background on her laptop and stuff. She just says she loves that, like she likes that emo kind of attitude.
Daria's not even that emo. Her friend is more emo than her.
Yeah. But I mean, when it came out, that was honestly the start of like that emo culture for the most part.
My girlfriend loves that show too.
Does she?
Binge watch it, yeah.
Yeah. How many seasons are there?
There were only 5.
Oh, okay.
I think
they're
I think
rebooting
5,
it.
I'd hope so.
I believe so. I think
it deserves it.
I think they're coming out with more episodes of Daria as well. It's just going to be a thing. Everything's going to get more episodes. That's just the way it goes. I just need.
I talked to one of our. He's even older than you. One of our older guys
No
at
way.
my other job.
Yeah.
And we were talking briefly about. I don't know if you know NBC. This also kind of went away. Everything changes. He watched that new NBC Night Court reboot.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it because he watched the original when it came out.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how different TV, like we talked about earlier, how different TV itself was.
Yeah.
Because he told me everything used to be 22 episodes or 30 episodes,
Yep.
always hours long or however, and then we get down to 12.
90210 on Fox. It was like 32 episodes a season or something. I mean, it was a shitload
crazy.
of episodes.
I mean, I don't know,
many.
and I feel like it was harder to make TV back then than it was now. I don't know how they did so much.
Yeah.
It must have sucked.
Well,
editing took forever because they had to do everything by hand.
I remember when Miami Vice came on. That was the first show that cost $1 million an episode.
Damn.
That was
now
it was a huge deal.
Freaking House of the Dragon.
Oh my god.
Was 20? Like it was like 20 an episode.
Yeah.
Freaking The Last of Us, I think, was like 10 to 15.
Which is amazing to me
Yeah.
because The Last of Us is a very well done show, and it shows what you can do with half the money that House of Dragons used.
Well, they have different.
I know
they don't have dragons.
Well, yeah, but they got.
I think I might be wrong about their budget. I know they're both in the millions to make.
They're a lot. Yeah, they're a lot.
And then, again, also only 10. Last of Us only 9 episodes.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon 10 episodes,
Yep.
and they both have season 2s,
Yep.
but they're gonna take 2 years each to come out.
That's crazy.
Probably. Well, I'm assuming 2 years, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, these are big productions, a lot of cast.
That's
and a lot of stuff.
what we've come to expect from these shows, right?
Everything takes 2 years to come out now.
Breaking
and
Bad.
for so few things, which is not saying that they need to make more. I'm not saying they take
they
their
need to
time.
make more. Yeah,
Take their
they need to make
time.
more.
No one get hurt. No one stress. Make good content. But it's also
Sure.
like crazy how SVU. I mean, only cop
SVU.
shows now. Only cop shows now come out with yearly 22 episode things.
Yeah.
And like hell,
I think my
that
wife
90s
watches
show,
all of those.
that 90s show that just came out was
Yeah.
only 10 episodes, and that was
Yeah.
a sitcom.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
sitcoms are cutting back on their stuff
Oh,
now.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, and okay, so Breaking Bad, and this will be the last thing, but Breaking Bad was one of the first ones I can remember that took forever for new stuff to come out. And not only did it take forever for new stuff to come out, but it was the first one that I know of that took a mid-season break also. Like, that never used to happen.
They started doing that. It had to be season 3, I believe. Season 3 or 4. No, season 3 had 13 episodes. It was season 4 they started doing that.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It had to be season 5. It was season 5. Because first season was 6 episodes.
And you're talking Breaking Bad now?
Breaking Bad, yeah.
Okay.
Season 2 and 3 and 4 were 13.
That's crazy. The first season's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then season 5 was the one that did the mid-season because it was 8 episodes each.
Yeah.
Even though people consider it 5B season 6 because it basically is. It was a year and a half later, but
That's
it's
true.
still 5B.
Absolutely true.
Like Vikings for the last Vikings post season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Each season was 20 episodes, 10 season bunches.
Yeah.
It's like just make them different seasons. They practically are.
Well, my thing is like there's just so much content now that can't we just get these people together to make more episodes of one thing rather than making all the stuff? I mean, I could have lived without.
We need more IPs.
I could have lived without that '90s show. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but I could have lived without that.
Yeah, I liked it, but hopefully season 2 they'll actually. I think the first season they were getting their chops in, seeing who are these characters? How do we do this? Season 2 could be good, could be not.
Maybe.
But then again, that '90s show got a second season, but Inside Job didn't.
What's Inside Job?
You didn't even know what it was?
Yeah, tell me what it is.
People accuse it of being a Rick and Morty clone. It wasn't. It's basically an adult animated comedy about the deep state and how they.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
It was really good. Season 1 was split into 2 parts.
Okay.
And then they canceled it for season 2.
Yeah.
All animation, pretty much, if you're not a name, animation gets canceled.
Man,
which is
Rick
annoying.
and Morty is one of those weird shows that, like, I think they could put episodes out every 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, 5 weeks, 7 weeks, and nobody would care.
You want to know a crazy thing?
Huh.
We were talking about time.
Yeah.
Probably the last thing. Do you know? You want to know how many? Rick and Morty just ended season 6.
Okay.
All right, 6 seasons.
Yeah.
You want to know when Rick and Morty started?
When?
2013.
Wow, really?
It was 2013, and then season 2 wasn't until 2015. Season 3
Jiminy,
wasn't
that
until
thing's been on 10
2017.
years?
Yes,
Holy
10 years.
crap.
It wasn't until season 4 on where they started actually doing it yearly.
I did not
And even
realize
then,
that.
it's more like year and a half late.
Yeah, Rick and Morty is one of those that, boy, they could have pumped out a bunch of episodes and ruled the world with that thing.
The thing is, one, since they go so sci-fi or fantasy with their concept, each episode is so different. The only same set they have is their house, so it takes longer, and then animation gets more crazier, and then
I guess so. It's a very funny show. I wish that he would make more stuff, but because
you mean Dan Harmon, right?
Yeah, Dan Harmon, very very funny guy, very troubled guy, but very funny guy.
Seems like I feel like Dan Harmon. He could be fun to hang out with for like 5 minutes, and then when you actually start really talking to him, he's like, "Someone get this man some meds or something."
Dan, can you stop drinking for a minute?
Jesus Christ.
But Community is one of my all-time favorites. Community was a fantastic show, and Community was one of those that handled adversity very well because they were under threat of being canceled.
Every season,
Chevy Chase was always going to leave. Somebody was always upset. I mean,
and then each season they did Season 3 especially, each episode is just something crazy.
It is. Yeah. Is that the paintball year?
No, paintball was only the first 2 seasons.
Oh, was
Season
it?
3
Okay.
had the Pillow War, the whole episode where they go to a video game.
Oh, the Pillow Fort, yeah.
Season 3, it had a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One last fun fact. I watched, and I remember I was watching with my dad. I watched the premiere of Community when it aired on NBC. I don't know why I'm proud of that. I was like, I didn't watch anything else after until it was on Netflix, but I watched it when it aired.
Yeah, but it's funny how some of those things stick in our mind over time, Like I remember when King of the Hill came on. It was I was working at an internet service provider here in town. I was running an internet service provider. It was the same one that my buddy and I showed up to one day, and we had been fired on Friday, so we just didn't know. Yeah,
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I also remember
things worked out.
I watched A New Girl when it premiered too.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
And I watched a lot of stuff. I remember when you used to have to watch stuff live.
Oh yeah.
Because now if it's on now everything is the next day on HBO Max or Hulu or
NBC was always
or Peacock.
They called it appointment TV or they called it must see TV or whatever, and it was like you had to be there to watch it. Otherwise, you got to wait a year for a rerun to come around.
And even before DVDs weren't in the U.S. until 1996. I remember Friends. I looked this up because I was just curious about it. Friends didn't have its first seasons on DVD until like 2000.
Family Guy. Family Guy is one of those. It was one of the first like box sets on DVD, and without that box set coming out on DVD, Family Guy wouldn't have been brought back.
Yeah, because they were
already canceled.
Canceled.
They were already canceled. With the one where they go to they have the nuclear meltdown.
Oh yeah, boom.
Yeah,
I like that episode.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay. Well,
I keep talking about this, but I know you want to go home.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I think that. Just TV in general, you guys can tell us what you think, but I've always wanted to do a revisit old TV show, and I think there's something there. Maybe at some point we'll get some time and we can start something like that.
Another thing fun is just looking at the way language is used.
Yeah.
Like certain things are okay, okay then, not okay. What is full out offensive then, that is not that offensive now, or what is meant to be funny, but looking now, it's like, geez, that is creepy as fuck.
Well, it's so weird too. Like
baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
It's so well. I've always said, if you say out loud the things that people sing in songs, you're either nuts or you're a pervert, one or the other.
Depending on the song, yeah.
Yeah. People say things in songs that just don't make any sense. So don't go chasing those waterfalls, folks. All right. Well, I think that's it, and we will see you on Monday when I believe Rusty will be back. And thanks again for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. What do you say? You got to say it?
Wimatanya.
Wimatanya.
Bwaaa. This has been a Rogue Media podcast.